In autumn 2007, Gordon Brown hammered home the importance in bridging the attainment gap between pupils from diverse backgrounds, and in delivering his first education speeches as Prime Minister, used the word aspiration over 30 times.
Aspiration matters in every aspect of education. The aspirations of parents for the children, the aspirations of young people, the aspirations, of course, of teachers, of schools, of local governments, setting high expectations for achievement.
The Prime Minister was reflecting an increasingly widespread view that to raise achievement, children's expectations and self-esteem, aspirations need to be raised as well.
Raising the aspirations for everyone in this country to achieve their full potential. And if we don't do that in an intensely competitive global environment, we won't succeed.
Ambitious political rhetoric has been widely accepted as a positive step. But what can schools do to help achieve this? We are going to explore a range of approaches and views on how to raise aspirations in schools, both in the UK and from America. One approach, exemplified by the Teach First initiative, is to make sure that teachers themselves have high aspirations and can act as role models to inspire their pupils.
I think raising aspirations is really important. Talking to our teachers and visiting the schools we're in, a big issue is that actually these children are very intelligent, these children are actually very ambitious, but they don't necessarily see how to get from point A to point B, even though they actually do have the skills to get there when you actually focus on it. So, I mean, ensuring that all these children really have high aspirations of what's possible for them is really important.
The Teach First programme recruits and trains high-achieving graduates straight from university and places them in urban secondary schools where they aim to inspire pupils into valuing a degree-level education.
I like Teach First. I think it's been innovative and useful. Like all these initiatives, they have to be evaluated. Are they good value for money? What's the bang for the buck? And the anecdotal evidence I have, and the evidence given to my committee so far, is that Teach First has been successful.
Whilst Teach First has admirable intentions, there have been concerns into its effectiveness. Educational journalist Francis Beckett offers an alternative view.
I'm quite dubious about the Teach First programme. The idea, as I understand it, is that you get young people who are not intending to be teachers at all. They're intending to be city high flyers. And you're saying to them, well, look, come and spend a couple of years at the chalk face and then go away and make your pile in the city. And this somehow is supposed to transform the effectiveness of schools. Now, I can't see any reason at all to suppose why somebody who wants to be a city high flyer all his or her life is necessarily going to be a better teacher than somebody who actually wants to be a teacher.
When people join Teach First, they have to go through a series of questions around the Teach First mission, why they want to address educational disadvantage. They have to do mock teaching, but they really have to convince us that they care about the kids for the most part and that it's really important for them that these children succeed. I mean, if they can't do that, then we won't let them on the program.
The Teach First initiative is seen as one way of breaking the cycle of underachievement. But in order to raise aspirations in the UK's most deprived areas, government is also looking at charter schools' successes in America as a potential model for the UK.
I think there's a lot of interest in the current political climate to the charter school movement in America. I know the government's been looking at KIPP schools and seeing how that could work in the UK. The KIPP model has a very strong philosophy of every child going to university with very strong discipline, very strong, I've visited one of the schools and you definitely know you're in a KIPP school when you're there.
Charter schools run independently of the traditional public school system, tailoring their programmes to the needs of the community they serve. The Knowledge is Power programme, otherwise known as KIPP, has been described as extreme education, but have proven track records of high student achievement. While fewer than 1 in 5 low-income students attend college nationally in America, KIPP's rate stands at nearly 80%.
We have very high expectations of our kids and making sure that they believe that everything is possible, that impossible is nothing. We preach it, we teach it, we model it, that there are so many opportunities out there outside of the Bronx, outside of the school, and it's attainable. There are a lot of statistics out here that count against our kids, that say that they will not succeed, that they will not earn a high income, that they will repeat the failures of previous families or generations. And this is a poverty-stricken neighborhood that is coming up, and we would want our kids to be part of that solution.
Through lack of opportunity and social disadvantage, similarities can be made between the KIP school catchment area and London's most deprived boroughs. In Lambeth, a new academy is being built aiming to emulate the KIP model in an effort to raise aspirations.
The first thing that hits you when you first find out about the KIP model is, you just see their success rate. You look at their results, and the fact that they have closed the achievement gap does mean that we have to stop and listen. There are some things that I think we do better, and we have areas of real expertise in this country that we will be drawing on. However, there's key aspects of the KIP model that I think we can learn from, and really what that comes down to is the way they establish culture and ethos, and the positive aspirational culture that they establish amongst the students and the staff is so significant in helping them achieve those kinds of targets. That's where we can learn.
Like academies in the UK, charter schools enjoy greater freedom in setting their policies. Those children fortunate enough to have won their lottery-based admission arrive at 7 a.m. and often stay until 6 p.m. to continue their studies.
We just believe that we need to develop or help our students develop into well-rounded individuals. And so a lot of our mission is how do we get our kids to not only develop those the academic strengths, but more so the character strengths to allow our kids to succeed through high school, through college, and the world beyond. And so for us, our students are our current students, but we're thinking of lifetime growth for them and the kind of adults they'll be. If you really believe in what we do here, you really believe in making this world a better place. And it doesn't become a better place the way, how Dorothy in Wizard of Oz just clicks her heel and wishes for it to happen. That would be great, because I'd probably be wishing for a lot of things, but that's not how it happens. It's your actions, it's your words, it's your thoughts. Your actions, your words, and your thoughts. Those are the things we're trying to tell you that you need to start controlling.
KIP has helped me reach my aspirations because they teach you to be determined. They teach you to have grit and to never give up and to strive for more. And I think that KIP has really helped me to be in that mindset, because it's taught me, never give up, try harder. When you fall, get up, get back again. And in terms of art, KIP Orchestra has really offered a lot of, time for me to play the drums, which has made me love it so much more than I already do. So KIP has really been helpful in terms of reaching my goals and choosing which ones I want to do.
Well, we think of our students as family. And so in the same way that you have a family and it's important for family to stay in touch, we do the same with our students. But also we think of them as they're climbing a mountain of college. And we know that on that mountain there are going to be some dips and some valleys and some sharp turns, and we want to make sure that when students face that they're prepared to deal with it, or that they have a resource to come back and ask for help. Once they're enrolled in high school, we support them in the afternoon through after-school tutoring, as well as counseling. During the summer, we help them find summer jobs. And then when the good day comes that they're ready for college, we help to place them in college and see them through college.
I'm in college now, and it's a long way from 8th grade, but I'm still here, and they still help you. And I feel like they helped prep me for this moment, for everything beyond just 8th grade. Growing up in this setting, it's kind of hard to see yourself in, going to college and having such high aspirations as, being a marine biologist, and they help you that you can get there with just a little bit of help, and they give you everything you need so you can get to that point. They have something called the KIP Commandments and the Laws of Success. We're taught from a young age, things, be honest, work hard, be good, to really strive your best and your hardest to get to where you want to be. Everything they taught me, I've used, and I feel like I really don't know where I could be right now without having gone to this school and without having learned all the things that they taught me, because I've never experienced it anywhere else.
Our kids tell us this. You guys are so strict. You guys you have too many rules. They know about this before they enter. They sign a commitment to excellence form. And this commitment form is a promise, we tell them, to commit to KIPP 5 days a week from 7:25 to 5. To commit to Saturdays, to commit to summer school, to 3 weeks of summer school. So we tell them that this is a really big commitment, and there are many sacrifices to this. And they do show up at 7:25. They show up sometimes at 7. You see, we have kids come in at 6:15. We have kids that stay beyond 6 o'clock because they want to get the work done. So our kids complain about it, and other people think sometimes it's too strict. But at the same time, the fact that people keep coming back, that our kids keep coming back, that our families keep sending their younger children back, is a testament that something is right, something is working. And a lot of people say, well, why don't you just let them be kids? And we are letting them be kids. We just want to make sure that when they're being kids, that they're getting that extra guidance. So how many of us come here because it's safe here? Hands down. What do I mean by safe?
It keeps us out of mischief.
Oh, nice word, mischief. What kind of mischief?
We're not supposed to be robbing stores.
Yes, we're not robbing stores. I'm glad our 5th grade class is not robbing stores.
Through various school leadership schemes, many head teachers from the UK come to KIPP for inspiration. But there are concerns as to whether this model can be applied to the English system.
As a culture, we are a bit more stiff upper lip, a bit more reserved. Perhaps holding hands in circles and chanting doesn't come naturally to us, but it does work with kids. It's the English adults who feel uncomfortable with that, but kids will do that. Kids will jump at a chance to be involved in that kind of motivational culture. Now we have to make it English, and our staff need to feel comfortable with it.
The idea of high expectations, of building relationships, of students developing the necessary character and academic skills to make this world a better place is something that transcends borders. This transcends economic lines. This is just this is something that can be universal. And I think the part that we need to just do universally is really have that hope and also risk, like take these chances and kind of break outside of this mentality that there is only one measure, that there is only one thing that matters. It is about the output, and we often look as the academic piece as the output, but the part that I think makes KIPP a special place is that we want to make sure that we're developing the whole child, that we're developing the whole person.
Many government initiatives aim to raise aspirations through academic achievement. But, like the KIPP holistic approach, there is a movement in the UK to recognise the need for emotional development in the curriculum.
We all want, in the end, the same thing. We all want our young people to leave education, well, probably never to leave education, but to leave the building armed with a whole range of skills. Exams are an important part of it, but there's a whole lot more to it than that. With enterprise, excitement, enjoyment, maturity, the ability to cope with change, all of those are just as important a range of things that we want from Selby Park.
But, something else we do, SEAL is a primary project, social and emotional aspects of learning brought in by the government, and the original primary school used to be a pilot school for that. Now we've brought it in right the way through, so that we've actually got the secondary also, so we're the only all-through school to have SEAL all the way through, because it's about emotional intelligence rather than just thinking about artificial intelligence. So it's, again, that's a thread that runs right through.
It's just such a solid, sensible base of developing young people's emotions. It really, in a nutshell, it's just teaching pupils how to handle their emotions, how to cope with the feelings they have, and how to express the feelings they have. And so we'd already decided that it was an excellent thing to start looking at in secondary, and then the government come out and said, well, we want to introduce secondary SEAL, so we put our hands up and volunteered to be one of those who are piloting secondary SEAL. SEAL is a very important support in helping young people to develop their part in a very difficult, changing world.
Emotional learning. We've, over the last few years, trained teachers out of doing that. We've started to train teachers to believe that the only thing that matters is whether you shove them through their GCSEs and with higher grades, what sort of SATs grades you get, where you come in the league tables and all of that. And now the government is having to claw back the ground that it's already given away and systematising this idea of allowing teachers to assist children's emotional development and telling them to do it, having first trained them to stop doing it, is now having to tell them to start doing it. That seems to me a terrible shame. However, I always welcome converts. If that's what we're doing, that's fine. But I wish we'd never stopped doing it. The very best sort of teacher likes children and will be automatically aiding and changing their social and emotional development.
Hooray! Regarded as an inspirational and innovative head teacher, Sue Seifert has spent 30 years working in challenging inner-city environments. Like the KIP model, Sue values the importance of providing a community experience and often arrives early for breakfast with her pupils.
Morning.
Welcome to our healthy breakfast. Would you like some bread?
I will have one grape. They're lovely, aren't they?
Grapes, Donnell?
Come on. What is that, Maha? Group hug. Group hug. All right, did you all have breakfast?
Yeah.
Why not, Shannon?
I don't want any.
Well, have some fruit. Don't you like... Hello, sweetheart. Do you like the fruit? I think having high aspirations are really important. And what we talk to children about is choices. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? And it's really important to talk to children about that.
At the heart of Sue's philosophy is a belief in her pupils to succeed and a determination for them to have faith in themselves. Marlon, a former pupil of Sue Seifert, has returned to Montem for work experience, having expressed an interest in becoming a teacher.
I like teaching kids how to learn and stuff, be successful when they're older. I really enjoyed the school because she's a good head teacher and she provides us with good trips, playgrounds, facilities and stuff, good teachers. She knows what she's doing.
Such joy to see these children coming back and seeing them grown and that they are doing well and they're successful and they are decent human beings. That's the payoff. You could pay me £1 million, it's not as good as seeing what's happened to Marlon. That's the biggest reward.
Many children from disadvantaged areas are characterised by low expectations. Sue believes that family support is a key factor in reversing this trend.
We're working with parents, we're getting them involved. One of my, maybe difficult parents, one would say, I've got her now, the last child went in full-time nursery place, I've now got her into college. She's loving it. She's changed, her views have changed. She is now learning and she says to her kids, I'm a learner now, you have to be learners. They're all learning how to use the computers. There's a computer club for parents so that they can all get their skills up and keep up with their children, I would hope. And I'm eating toast while I'm doing it. I mean, why do you want to learn?
I can help my children and for myself.
Get back to work if needs be. Yeah. There you are. There are no clever answers here, just simple baseline answers. And that's what it's about. No.
It is the case that that schools can only do a certain amount. A child is at school for much, much less than half of his or her waking life. And what happens outside school, and every teacher will tell you this, what happens outside school is a far greater determinant of how that child will do than what's going to happen within school. What they can do is that they can provide stimulus where there is none. They can counteract some of the effects of, some not all, of the effects of poverty and of inequality.
There's no doubt that there is a very strong link, and all the research show this, a very strong link between parental support and parental income and success in education. And of course in those communities where the cycle of low skill within a family has been there for a very long time, several generations of low educational attainment, poor, low-skilled employment or long-term unemployment from generation to generation, they're the most difficult.
Many of the government initiatives in place are united by the need to close the attainment gap between the rich and the poor. Holly Hall Schools serves an area in the West Midlands characterised by low aspiration, low income and disadvantage.
Our children need a reason to be actively engaged in education, and they need to see a future, that it's actually going to lead somewhere. So many of our children don't see a future. We're dealing with third generation unemployed, and father and grandfather haven't worked, and so they don't see any need to. What we've got to do is find an interest that hooks them, provide them with a vision for the future, and then provide the appropriate courses and support to get them to work towards that future.
No, right, so that's your list. You're going to type that up, find the pictures for it. Yeah? My role is to find provision for year 10 and 11 students that are not doing the complete curriculum. They are studying some GCSEs, but obviously for some students that is not the best package for them. So what we try and offer them is a flexible curriculum with work-based learning in it as well, which will involve us finding placements at colleges or the likes of these Black Country Wheels project.
The Wheels project in Dudley works alongside local schools and offers vocational training in mechanics.
We work hard at trying to raise aspirations for this group. Projects like the Wheels project hooks them in and gives them an interest, gives them something they're interested in and perhaps a route forward.
When I started coming here I was happy in that lot. I could take strip cars and that lot. In the school I was just used to sit down and drive all day.
We go there every Monday. It's still like a day off school to learn about cars.
Well, Wheels are treat you like adults, and you do adult things, but like at school, you've always got teachers looking out for you, and at Wheels you've got something that you want to do.
A lot of these students that we have don't have a lot of confidence, and they don't have a high expectation of themselves. They just think that they're going to leave school and probably go on the dole, and that is our first aim, I suppose, is to get them to believe in themselves, that they do have something genuine to offer us and to offer the rest of society.
You do IMO to pass your level 1 and 2 to get you straight into college and the job what you want, and you got the qualifications there for the people to show them to get the job what you want.
We don't all learn by sitting behind a desk with a pen in our hand. You know, some students can go out and they can create some wonderful things either through paint, the art side, mechanics, construction, and that's what sort of all of our students need, is to do it the way that they're going to learn best.
Still, for the majority of kids, achieving at least 5 grade GCSEs with grade C or better is going to be their route into success. But we've got a significant group, as a school and as a society, who don't see any advantage to that, but still deserve a future. And so it's creating a variety of routes for them. There's a huge cost to society if we don't engage these people and find something that engages them and creates a future for them.
It has been widely agreed that positive government rhetoric and initiatives that allow for emotional development within the curriculum is ticking the right boxes for many teachers. But there are still concerns as to how the ideas can genuinely impact social disadvantage.
Head teachers all tell me that their very first task is to try to persuade the children they get that they are not failures and that they are not necessarily destined for the bottom of the heap. So what we're really looking at is a means of changing the system and allowing teachers to ensure that all their children, and not just a few of them, have the highest possible aspirations.
We've got to make sure that all those children, wherever their backgrounds, have the best possible chance to raise their aspirations and succeed. That's critical, but they don't only succeed through going to higher education. There's a whole range of aspiration that can be raised, not just through thinking it's through higher education. There's at least a twin track, or there's many tracks, but making those opportunities valuable and attractive seems to me at the heart of raising aspiration.
Schools in challenging communities must do whatever they can to break that cycle and to offer the widest variety of opportunities and chances that you possibly can, to see the spark in the eyes, because it is possible, because we see examples of young people who are then leading their own families effectively by raising their own families' aspirations, because they're the ones who've actually seen it and got it. It's too easy an excuse to sort of say, oh well, you know, low aspiration in this area, we're never going to get out of that. It's difficult, but it's not never. We certainly can if we offer a high enough horizon.